All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely weekend. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. All right, guys, important stuff we got to talk about today because we got a lot of people going over into the bear camp. And I'm going to start this video by saying I think you're accurate. Okay, I think you're right to be in that camp right here, right now. But, well, not right here, right now. I think it's coming. But I don't think the top is in. I'm going to go over in this video why I don't think the top is in. I'm not going to say I'm bullish. I'm not going to say I'm bearish. I'm going to say I think there's a top right around the corner, but I don't think it's here yet. And I'm going to point to the signs that are suggesting to me that we likely are going to take out last week's highs. Let's get into it. All right, we're going to start here with the weekly time frame. I took off all my drawings on the chart, guys. We don't have any, squiggly lines here, clouding our vision here on the weekly time frame. I want to simply point out one thing. You have a big fat lower wick here on the weekly time frame that is not a bearish candlestick. We're going to come over here to QQQ. You also have a larger lower wick than that upper wick. We're going to come over to IWM. You have a pin bar candlestick. You have a very large lower wick compared to that upper wick. Come over here to DIA. You do have a long-legged doji candlestick. All right, I am just going to say these candlesticks are not inherently bearish. I understand we, have a lot of people jumping over to the bear camp right now, but these weekly candlesticks, yes, weekly candlesticks are not bearish. I understand Friday took us all for a ride there. Well, I mean, if you were following, intraday price action, then guess what? All right, maybe it wasn't taking you for a ride. There were some things that we were watching on SPY that, made it decently not obvious, all right? But and I'm not even talking about this big rising wedge you're in right here. All right, guys, we had little rising wedges to be paying attention to, all right? You had that going on over there. You could have had this trend line going on right here. You ended up breaking down there. Guess what? That was your first sign over there that you were, starting to die. You were starting to roll over. And then what do you have over here? You had another one, all right? I understand. Maybe it's a little sloppy here, but you guys can hopefully see if I get rid of this. This is what I was tracking, all right? And these are the things that, guys, when you see these things, and you have this fat 15-minute bearish divergence going on that we definitely warned you about here on the channel, yeah, they typically are going to lead to things. And I'm not saying this sell has played out yet. I'm going to go over what I think in this video. But I am going to say, guys, this price action really has been very clean, and it shouldn't be too big of just surprises thrown intraday at you. But you come back over here to the weekly time frame, and let's just do a little experiment. All right, let's just see. Let's go back and see where we had these candlesticks. All right, we're gonna mark them with arrows. All right, we have a 1. Gosh darn it, get rid of all this clutter. There we go. So we have a 1. We have a... You have 1 going on right there. You have a 2 right here. All right. What are we talking now? We have a 3. We have a 4 right there. Okay. We're going to come and we're going to go like that. Okay. We're going to go like that. That's pretty similar candlestick to what we're rocking with. Oh, what are we going to go like that? We're going to go like that. Guys, this is on the weekly time frame. This is not the daily chart. This is the weekly time frame. All right, what are we going to find? Are we going to find another one? Boom. All right, and just to, compare, you got that. That is what we're matching up with right now. We're matching up with these, I'm not talking about these thick-bodied hammer candlesticks. We're talking, slim body, big lower wick. That's what that candlestick is. All right. Do we have any more examples here? We do, right here. All right, do we have one more? We do, right here. Do we have one more? Do we have any more over the past 2 years? No, we do not. We do not have any more examples, but guess what, guys? All right, now we go to the bull trend. Okay, now we go to where we literally just had a bull market. All right. You guys see the picture I'm trying to paint? And this is why I say, guys, please just wait to enter the bear camp, because I think you're right. I'm not going to say I think you're wrong. I think you're right. I think we're going to finally begin to sell. But I see a lot of people going over to the bear camp pretty early right now. And when the weekly chart looks like this, the weekly candlestick, I should say, guys, it suggests we're going to take out the freaking high next week. All right. I'm not telling you this candlestick means we're going to take out the high. I'm telling you All of these candlesticks resulted in higher prices the following week. All right. Right here. Not the following week. All right. Following few weeks right there. Following week right here. All right. What do you have? Oh, higher prices following week. Oh, higher prices following week. Right here, you did not. All right. You did dip, but you ended up holding the line. And I do think we're going to be getting this dip. So I'm not even comparing it to right here. I'm comparing it to this mess that we've had over the past few years. This chop city that, you know, is known as our bear market. Guys, this is during the bear market. You think in the bull market, you're going to put in a bullish candlestick and then you're going to decline? I'm just telling you right now, I think you were right in being bearish because of what I'm going to point out. But I'm also going to tell you, none of these occurrences, all right, these candle occurrences resulted in lower prices right away. Okay? I'm looking for at least something like this. We're going to go, look at this. All right. Yeah, you resulted in lower prices, but it took a week. You printed that candle, then it took a week. All right. Let's just get rid of that golden pocket. Right here. Higher prices the next week. Right here. Higher prices. Ever so slightly. Higher prices. Look at that wick. All right, guys. Oh, right here. Ever so slightly. Yes, you died that week. But what happened? You freaking ended up going up $3 above that high. All right, guys. So I'm not telling you to look for a lot more upside. I'm telling you, just wait until we have something bearish in this weekly chart to go off of, because we ain't got it right now. We ain't got it. It could potentially be put in next week. We could get a very bearish candlestick like this bad boy, and could mark the beginning of the end for months. All right, but we don't have any of that. We don't even have one of these doji candlesticks with a large upper wick. Guys, buyers are in control right now. Okay, I'm not in either camp. I'm not a bear. I'm not a bull. I'm simply some guy who every single day comes here on YouTube and reads the charts for the people and obviously myself as well. Obviously, you know, this is my passion. This is what I enjoy doing. All right, but if you would like to follow along, I'm just going to tell you, I don't think there's another channel out there like ours. All right, this is definitely an underrated channel. Please, guys, just give my work a shot. All right, I understand I'm going to sound contrarian. Guess what, guys? I sounded extremely contrarian when I was looking for a bounce, a big old bounce right here. I was sounding extremely contrarian. And then people told me this bounce was bearish, this day right here. Well, what happened over the following day? Following few days? You rose. All right, if this bounce was bearish right here, why did you end up going from the low there? Again, break and retest. You went up another $6. Why is it bearish? It's not. All right. Yet people in my comment section were saying it is. I'm gonna have my level head here, guys. I'm not gonna join either side. I'm gonna tell you right now, I will continuously read these charts. I promise you that one. All right. Coming back over the weekly time frame, you come over here to QQQ. Now I understand. All right. It's not as pretty of a picture over there as SPY. What do we have? I still have a hammer candlestick, all right, with a longer, lower wick than the top, all right? I'm just putting it out there. You don't typically go lower right away with these. You typically are going to either consolidate or you are going to take out the high. I'm not sure which is going to be the case. Maybe we put in some dojis over the coming weeks and we get a flat market here as we chop it up, baby, just like over here. But as of right now, guys, we have this candlestick right here. Okay, never mind. We have a little larger wick than that. But I think I'm making my point pretty clear here. When you have larger, lower wick, it just literally is going to be showing that buyers were in control that week. And they're probably going to want to get their way the following week. That's typically how that goes. They're coming over here to IWM, guys. All right? We can see tops get put in with bullish candlesticks. That we can. All right? We typically don't. All right, we typically don't. You have a larger lower upper wick right there. Right here, you went lower. You had these bearish candlesticks. All right, you had this bullish candlestick right here, and guess what? The next week, you went higher. All right, I'm not saying we're going much higher, but I am going to say IWM definitely is not a bullish chart, or not a bearish chart. I have been very bullish on this chart right here. And guys, if we don't just absolutely die, like, you know, a lot of people I'm seeing online are thinking, then yeah, this chart could have some flames going on it, baby. All right, so you come over here to DIA. You do have the doji candlestick, all right? Longer wick to the downside. You had the hammer candlestick last time. And I'm going to point to a chart over here. Guys, does this look like it's going to drop? It doesn't look like it's going to drop to me. All right. It looks like buyers are like continuously holding the line. We're consolidating before the next move up. Why are we going to have charts looking like this? All right. Just like it doesn't make sense. You come over here to Big Boy Apple. We're going to be talking about Apple in detail here. I'm going to go over, what I really like about this. I did go over it in yesterday's video, but we'll talk about it briefly here. Guess what? Why is this thing going to have the daily RSI almost being already oversold if we're about to have a massive sell-off? Guys, I saw something on Twitter saying, don't drink the Kool-Aid. I completely agree. All right? We can drink the Kool-Aid after the Kool-Aid, like, confirms that it's actual Kool-Aid. But until then, guys, it could just be, rotten Kool-Aid. And we could get sick to our stomachs off of it. And instead of that, we could, we could actually thrive off of not drinking that Kool-Aid. We could just do our normal thing here and not buy into the Kool-Aid. All right? There you go. All right, guys, so let's talk about some intraday, all right, stuff going on here, all right? Some smaller time frame stuff. We'll start here with the daily time frame, and we just discussed the weekly and how I think the high is going to be taken out, or at least we're going to consolidate. I don't think we're dying this week. I'm just saying right now, I don't think we're just going to straight up die. We did have a hot PPI that did tell us that, like, hey, the fact that, we weren't falling, it told us to be cautious, all right? With a hot PPI, you're looking for... you're looking for sellers, and we were also in the golden pocket right up here. You did take that out, which does lead me to believe you're probably going to be taking out the high. All right, I'm still not changing that, and before we go any further, I'm just going to show, guys, bullish weekly candlestick, bullish weekly candlestick, bullish weekly candlestick. We're going to say IWM, we're going to say IWM DIA, indecision, but more bullish than bearish, and then you have VIX. All right, guys, this is not freaking bullish. All right. You could get something like this, but you see how it went and took out the low? All right. You see, like over here, yeah, you spiked up the next week, but then you took out the low. All right. You see these large upper wicks here. Guys, this is not what comes right before a massive VIX rip. It could. All right. It could. But let's see. Can we find any examples like that? Where you have this freaking candlestick? And let's just throw it back, guys. Because again, all right, you had a lot of people drinking that Kool-Aid over there, and I'm going to be the guy to tell you every single time. I promise. I guarantee it. All right? Guarantee it. I will be the guy to bring you guys back down to earth. If you're getting perma-bearish over here, I will 100% be that guy to remind you that, hey, VIX likes to cool off every time it hits this daily 65 RSI. You also had the 4-hour RSI hitting a point where it hasn't since COVID. Guess what happened during COVID when you did hit that point? You had a 40% VIX crush. I understand. You could see a sick, nasty move. All right, you could. You could see a sick, nasty move on VIX. But guess what? What happened before the sick, nasty move? You had a 50% VIX crush. What do you think happened to SPY, guys? SPY got bought up in that instance. All right, what just happened when VIX's RSI hit it? Just now. SPY got bought up in that instance because we had a perfect setup. I don't know what else to say, all right? If you have been watching the channel for the past 2 weeks, then you know, guys, all right, during this old chop, we've kind of nailed every single aspect of it, every part of it. And that's that. All right? But I am going to tell you right now, QQQ is starting to break down. We have proof that is happening. And this is why I say, guys, I'm with you. I am with you. I think we are starting to roll over, but we don't have the proof of that yet. If you really want to get bearish on this market, guys, all right, I'm just putting it out there. You're going to break underneath 425, and that's when you're taking a right all the way down to 417. There's a real easy short. All right, I'm not telling you to short the beast down here. All right, but I'm telling you right now, there's absolutely no structure. So if we were to take out this zone and you didn't hold it like you did over here, guess what? You're going to probably go free falling, baby. All right, so that is definitely something I'm watching for. But as of right now, guys, all right, you just have this bearish engulfing candlestick on the daily time frame. You're slicing underneath the trend line, just like over here. It's proved to be a bear trap. I would not be surprised if it's a bear trap right here. We do know buyers are prevalent at this trend line. We're going to have to see what happens there. All right, but in the short term here, on the 15-minute time frame, I'm just putting it out here. You're either going to get a bounce to start the week and get this thing bouncing back up, or you're going to sell, and it's going to go something like this, and you're going to come back down to the zone, and you're going to have a bullish divergence there on the 15-minute RSI, and then you're going to see that, all right? Now, wouldn't that shock an absolute crap ton of people if this happened? Start the week off with this, all right? Make everyone think they were on the right side of the trade holding over the long weekend. Short, all right? Make that camp think like, holy crap, it's it. And then right there, perfect. We're going to have a warning sign sitting here as we come into our demand zone. And then, yeah, all right, I'm going to say the same thing I'm kind of saying right now. I think it would bounce if we had this setup. All right, you get this, you get this, you get that. All right, that is what I'll be looking at. Okay. That's really what I want to make clear here, guys. I don't think you're just going to fall off a cliff like, you know, people think is about to happen. I got, you know, a lot of people telling me I was dead wrong and then we were dead right. All right. That's probably about to happen. All right, guys, if we come down here and I call for a bounce, just know you're going to see in the comment section, you're going to see, yeah, oh, you couldn't be more right, or you couldn't be more wrong. And I'm going to be like, okay, just, you know, let price action develop first before you decide to come on, you know, just crapping on someone's work. There you go. All right, SPY, what am I watching, guys? These are the zones I'm paying attention to. As you can see, you're finding sellers as you step on up here. I'm just going to put it out there. Underneath here, you got a pretty clean shot all the way down here to 496. All right, guys, respect the zones, and they will respect you. I'm also going to point out something I had on the chart earlier. We had that 15-minute rising wedge going on right there. Gonna go right there. Okay, guys, so you do have this rising wedge that did just get a fresh breakdown. I'm just gonna say we could be seeing that sell to start off the week, but you see where that 15-minute RSI is, guys. If you started off with a gap down, it's gonna put it in a situation like that, and because there's not gonna be any divergence, I am going to be looking for a dead cat bounce to then be sold, just like we were looking at over here. And then, just like over here, we're going to be looking for a bounce. Now, where's that bounce potentially going to come into play? All right, let's actually make that 2. I don't like that thing being so big. That's for my thumbnails. I do that. Guys, if you just get a gap down right here, and you go like this, all right, and there's a bullish divergence when price comes into 492, there you go. There's your warning sign that buyers are probably about to step in. What happens here? All right, what happens right here? If you come down here to 496, let's say you don't result in just a big fat nasty gap down, your RSI is still going to be down bad over here. All right, but it's not going to, you're not going to gap down all the way down here. Well, then we're looking at this. You're going to look for that. You're going to look for a bounce. You're going to look to come into the golden pocket. You're going to slightly, all right, underthrow this demand zone down here. And now we're looking at that. All right, so like realistically speaking, this is what I'm looking for if you sell off into the beginning of the week. That's it. Right then, right there. It's literally the simplest game plan possible, guys. All right. Do you guys want to see the analog of what we're looking at right here? You guys want to see it? I got you. I got you. Okay. I know other YouTubers don't. Other YouTubers just want to cloud your mind, but I'm going to tell you, I got you. All right. Oh, you had the absolute perfect buy-in right here off your 15-minute hammer candlestick. What happened following that move? You bounced up. Well, where was the target for that trade? All right, the target, I know there's a lot of freaking clutter here. I know. We're going to, for now, we're going to take these off just so we could see clearly. Where was the target? Right here in the golden pocket. Where did you get sellers stepping in? Right here in the golden pocket. All right, you actually had them stepping in right here at the end of the day. Now you're up here, all right, and you're just grinding. And there you go. You overtook it. And that tells me you're probably going to be running up to the high. All right, so I don't know exactly how this is going to go, but you literally had the same exact setup going on over here. This is what I'm going to be watching for this week if we do start the week off with a sell. Now, let's say we don't start the week off with a sell. We're looking for it to go slightly higher. All right, I don't know when. We're looking for something like this. All right, and maybe it develops a trend line right here. All right, maybe it's like that. I don't know. And then you're going to be watching that trend line. Guys, there's going to be confluence that develops on these charts. We just have to be patient and we have to let that price action develop. And yeah, all right. And if you think it's not going to happen, guys, I'm not going to tell someone to go reference my previous videos. You can if you want, but I mean, they're kind of, it's relevant information right here, right now, like today, tomorrow, the next few days. It's relevant, but you know, I'm not going to say these are things people are going to go back and find, you know, like, I mean, you're going to learn how to do things, but you're not going to, you know, find market insights a month, 2 months back. But I'm going to just let you know, or I'm just going to say for the people who are new here, the people who are not new here understand that you literally get continuous price action developing. Well, obviously you get price action developing. You continuously get confluence that we watch for developing, like every single day pretty much. And like, I know it's kind of crazy, but it happens on a regular basis, and we're here for it. All right, guys. So that's pretty much what I'm watching over here. VIX did have the 15-minute bullish divergence going on over here that did tell us that we should be wary for a bounce. We did end up getting that bounce over here. What did that, suggest? Again, with this confluence, guys, you were breaking down. All right, like straight up. It was right over here. You had a rising wedge. I don't know what else to say. Like, price action been really freaking clean. As VIX starts popping up like this, you have that. And you have SPY. Break it down from that. Like, yeah, it looks clean. Now, I will tell you right here, again, with the cleanness, all right, QQQ did end up breaking down through there. All right, QQ had the same exact thing. And when you have this confluence going on, guys, that is when you're going to be looking at. You actually had the same thing I was watching over here on IWM. All right, where was I watching that? Right here. All right, guys, like confluence across the freaking board. Like, what do you think was going to happen here? All right, and these are the things that, like, hey, guys, maybe sometimes you're not going to hear me call them out because, they happen too quick. But, hey, this is what you're going to train your mind for. It's pattern recognition, baby. I got you. I'll show you what patterns to recognize. You just have to do your job of learning them over time. And there's that. At the end of the day, guys, all right, being a trader, stand back up. All right, you're going to get knocked down. I guarantee it. It's your job as a trader, stand back up, and nothing will stop you. All right, now that goes for anything in life. It's not just being a trader. It goes for literally all aspects of life. Stand back up. All right, get up. I'm telling you, get up all the time. All right, there we go. All right, so that's really what we're paying attention to going into the week on the indices. Let's cover some individual tickers here. We actually have quite a large list here to go over. All right, let's talk about a short side setup that I'm paying attention to. Avgo, all right. Am I going to short the beast? Probably not, all right. But we are definitely going to be paying attention to. You got this pennant going on here, all right. I didn't know which way it was going to break out from. It looks like it's probably going to be down. We're going to have to see about this one. Again, it really comes down to what does SPY and QQ do to start off that week? Do we get the sell? All right, because if we get the sell, it really depends, all right. We're going to have to see. But this is a downside focus setup, all right. Netflix, I'm just going to point out, you were finding buyers right here on the support level. It was previous resistance, now flip support. I think you have room up to 615. All right, you also surpassed the 0.786, so dips are buying opportunities. Nike, all right, Nike is literally getting a hammer candlestick right off of your golden pocket. This is a trade idea that I pointed out the other day. All right, on this day right here, I was looking for either a retest to find buyers right here at 104.31, or we were looking for a move down into this golden pocket. We did get it down and move down into the golden pocket. I know someone caught it on the Discord. Congratulations. All right, I think Nike is looking pretty sexy. All right, next one we're going to talk about is ARM, guys. ARM is consolidating. I don't know which move it's going to have, but I will point out buyers already stepped in the golden pocket. That is what you want to see. All right, you did break down from this. You had a trend line going on here. You did end up breaking down from that, so that's also something to take note of. You are now bear flagging. All right, but ARM, guys, lock up. It is still going to be happening, and if it's still happening, I'm just saying this thing has a solid shot of just making another leg up. I'm just saying. All right, NVIDIA. Why are we going to point out NVIDIA? NVIDIA is showing signs of weakness, all right, guys? So I'm just going to put it out there. You come down here to 700 again, just like you bounced over here. It's like 690, 750. But you come down here, okay, and you don't find buyers. That is not a good thing. But I'm also going to point out, guys, every time this thing touches the 9 EMA, it's kind of a buying opportunity until proven otherwise. So put it on your radar, all right? AMD. I know you guys know about this one. I know we've been talking about it. AMD, fresh breakout from the pennant. What do we also have on the weekly time frame? We now have 4 large lower wicks. We had 2 back-to-back hammer candlestick. This was looking like it was going to be a hammer on Friday. It ended up turning into a big long-legged doji candlestick. Regardless, you have this bullish consolidation above all-time highs. I do think the leg up is incoming. All right. Apple, this is one I want to spend some time on here. Okay. Why? Well, as of right now, you do have the bullish divergence. All right. So that is something. But if you come down here, you're either going to take out this low ever so slightly and put in a bullish divergence here, or your RSI is just going to be oversold. And I'm going to say right here, you're going to have the golden pocket, the 0.618 right here from this weekly move. You can see on the weekly chart from here to here. All right. And that would literally just be, right down there. That is where I think buyers would end up stepping in for at least a dead cat bounce. And, the dead cat bounce potentially is taking you all the way back up here. This is a pretty big move here. But I'm just going to say right now, what I think is like very likely is you are going to either be holding the line right here at the 200 DMA at this golden pocket from this move to this move. You're going to break out of the pennant, or you're going to have this happen. You're going to come down here. You're going to take out this low. You're going to come right here to the bottom of this trend line right here we got drawn. You're going to put in another touch point on this rising wedge or this falling wedge. It's going to align with the, whatever it's called, the 0.618 from this move we're talking about right here. And then you're going to break out. All right. I'm just putting it out there. This is another reason I am not terribly bearish right now in the markets. Guys, if you start the week up falling and Apple somehow gets down here, buyers are very likely to step in. You will have the daily RSI being oversold as well. You will have that confluence spot down there. That is what I like to look for. And yeah, going back years and years and years, the RSI being oversold is what marks Apple's bottoms. I don't know what you want me to tell you. All right. With something looking like this, before a lot of people are getting bearish, I don't think it's the best thing. I think we probably are going to see a market-wide bounce. All right. Oxy, watch for the retest right here. I'm just going to put it out there. 200 DMA test right there. Oh, and another thing on Apple, guys. Over here, you did seen this $4, move under the 200 DMA. Well, guys, a $4 move under the 200 DMA brings you right here to that confluence spot. So I like it. I really do. But Oxy, you're watching right here, 58.99. It's going to be the high of this candlestick for a break and retest. All right, Tesla, something that's looking mighty strong here, and I think the move is literally just getting started. All right, if you pull back here, watch for buyers step in on 196.36. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case, but if it does, that's the spot you really want to hold. You could draw a zone here. You want to hold that zone right there. Okay, but you did have the inverse head and shoulders breakout. You did have this bullish divergence going on here in the daily RSI right here, from we pointed out, and yeah, I think this move is starting. All right. SMCI, dip buyers are welcome. You're finally getting your move down to the 9 EMA. I am just going to put it out there. This thing has been an absolute beast. I understand it just, fell $200. Guys, this is where the lottos, all right, can actually be played. You are going to have a lot of people freaking shorting this thing, and it can just die again. All right. It's either going to die or it's going to run back up. All right. Got money you want to throw away, but with the potential of it turning into a lot of money. SMCI and ARM. All right. Those are your gambles. W, bullish setup going into this week. You are finding buyers in the golden pocket. You are, looking like you finally want to break out, not have a false breakout right here of this falling wedge here. I think this thing has outsized potential here with what I'm looking at in the market. All right. W, nice setup. AI, finding sellers in the golden pocket. Watch for a retest here off of 27.29. That is going to be the high of this candlestick right here. Schwab, I like this. You have the double bottom. You're testing the neckline here. If you could break above here. If you don't die in the market, guys, some of these setups are actually looking pretty nice. So there's that. All righty. Carvana. Carvana is one that I am watching for a test of this golden pocket. You're currently stalling out right here at the 0.786. If you stall out here and you break under that 9, I will be watching. We're going to take off this level right there. I will be watching for a test of 46.69, and that is where I am very interested in buying back into Carvana. All right, next thing we're going to talk about, CELH. I did point this out the other day. This thing looks like it was about to break up, and once it did break up, you're probably going to come up here to these highs. Yeah, I think CELH is going to make a run for all-time highs here. $69. This weekly chart is absolutely phenomenal. Okay. Literally came down here, found buyers at the gold pocket. It's phenomenal looking. I don't know what else to say about it. It's crazy looking. Coin, another phenomenal chart. Congratulations to anybody did end up buying this golden pocket down here, as well as the breakout zone. It's looking phenomenal. You're probably going to start pushing up here to 215. If you can take out 215, you got your targets right there. All right, Goog. This is one that is just freshly breaking down. I am pointing this one out. It's in the golden pocket. If you break under here, you're probably going to come back here and take out this low. Then you're watching this zone down here, which is going to be around 137.50. All right, MU. Again, I'm going to point out what I was pointing out on Apple. Guys, like, I don't think some of these things are positioned to not die. Okay, they're positioned to probably make a bottom and then start reversing. Apple, MU over here. Now, this thing has definitely been a letdown for me. But I will tell you right now, All right. MU is very likely going to be bottoming, in the short term. All right. The daily RSI, you can go back quite a while here. This is where it likes to put in its bottoms. All right. Levels of interest are going to be right here. All right. Right there at your break and retest. So 79 to 78 to 79 bucks. That's where you're looking to hold. All right. IBM. I just want to point out this thing looks like it is going to start running back up to the highs. You do have this little inverse head and shoulders formation going on there. Can't really see the clear picture. There you go. And that's that. All right. Roku. Roku is now in the golden pocket. Roku completely died. All right. Congrats if you didn't end up playing this little thing out of this inverse head and shoulders. You did have earnings. So, premiums were just absolutely juiced to the gills. Guess what? You died. All right. You died. The daily RSI is going to be getting oversold. And I'm going to point out, all right, you got some levels and some spots you're watching. All right. The spot to be watching is in this golden pocket, guys. But as far as this gap, guys, we're talking 59.89. All right, so we're talking 59.89. That is a level of interest right there. If not, you're coming back down to 55 bucks down here at this, we'll call this our demand zone down there. But I do think it's going to end up making a higher low here on the weekly time frame. All right, so I just want to put that out. I don't think that is going to be taken out. I think it is going to probably find buyers even here or at this gap fill. You're going to start making your way back up. All right, so something to keep an eye out for. Last one we're going to talk about is SBucks. SBucks did have this explosive action recently. It did start breaking out of its downtrend you got going on here. You also had this falling wedge breakout, and now you are currently in the golden pocket, just hanging on for dear life. All right. I am just going to say this thing just showed that it was bullish on this dip. Until proven otherwise, we shall be bullish. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave things off with that. Going into the week, just to summarize what we discussed earlier, guys, on SPY, we have a big fat weekly candlestick that suggests we are either going to be consolidating next week up here at these highs, or we are going to be taking out the high. Does not have to be a big move up there. I am just not looking for a massive sell to come off of a weekly candlestick like this and like this and like this and like this. I think it's going to take some time to develop. Price action takes time, guys. It does. All right. But, in the short term, we do know what to be watching out for. All right. Point that one out one more time. We do know what we're looking out for, where buyers are, trying to step in right here. All right. 495 over here on SPY. If we sell off early into the week on QQQ, what are we looking out for? Boom. All right. Right down here over by 429. Okay. All right. That is that. Actually, boom, 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 or bigger sell coming down here. All right. So, it's going to be one of the other guys. I'm going to follow price action as it develops, and I will get back to you guys. All right. With that being said, everybody have a lovely rest of your weekend, and peace.